After I built their YouTube brand from scratch, they dumped me like trash, just because I was a smoker. So I cost them 10 times their budget, got their project lead fired, and made more money than I ever did working there. If you've ever been disrespected by a boss who acted sweet just to stab you in the back, this story will hit home. Hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready for a revenge tale where karma doesn't just knock, it crashes through the door. Back in the early 2010s, before YouTube was what it is today, I was hired by a mid-sized university as a one-man content creator. The role sounded like a dream on paper. Build the university's YouTube presence, grow their brand, help them look modern and tech-savvy. But there was a catch. Always is, right? The salary was low, just around $2,200 a month, and when I say one-man team, I mean literally everything fell on me. Writing, filming, casting, directing, editing, even composing music. And I had to do all of this using my own equipment because their gear belonged in a museum. Then came day 2. My manager casually hands me a document and smiles. It's my KPI, key performance indicator. 85 videos. Between 3 to 10 minutes each. In 1 year. Solo. I blinked. That's not possible for one person. She just smiled wider. Don't worry. Just give it a try. Quality is what matters, not quantity. I should have known. That smile had trap written all over it. But I was naive, ambitious, so I threw myself into the work. For the first month, everything seemed fine. She was polite, encouraging even. Until one day, she caught wind of something. I was on a smoke break when she walked by. I didn't think much of it. But when I got back, something had changed. Her tone, her eyes, that passive-aggressive tightness in her lips. My colleague, who had been there for years, saw my confusion and pulled me aside. You told her you smoke? You're screwed. She hates smokers. Brags about getting them fired. And just like that, she turned. Overnight. Suddenly I was always late. Even though I was working 60+ hours a week. Suddenly my breaks weren't professional. My clothes smelled like smoke. I wasn't communicating enough. She was building a file on me little by little. But I kept my head down. I poured my soul into those videos. I gave them everything. By month 5, I had produced 30 high-quality videos. The most viewed content on their channel ever. And then, it happened. I was summoned to the director's office. I remember every second of that walk. My palms were sweating. My gut twisting. The manager was already inside when I entered. Her face carefully sculpted into mock concern. The director didn't waste time. We're disappointed. You've only delivered 30 of your 85 videos. You're behind. I couldn't believe it. I explained everything, how I was a one-man army working 6 days a week, how the manager herself said quality was more important, how my videos had skyrocketed their online presence. But none of that mattered. A KPI is a KPI, the director said coldly. We'll find a professional production house to finish your work. Then my manager smirked. We'll get it done. Properly. That's when the light bulb went off. She had no contacts in the industry. I did. One of my responsibilities had been to maintain a list of production houses. A vetted database in case we ever needed external help. So, I corrupted that list. I changed the phone numbers. Messed up the email addresses. Except one. A boutique production house, where a good friend of mine had just been promoted to junior director. Not assistant, but full-on director for smaller budget clients. I called him, told him everything, and I offered him a deal. You win this contract, you get fast-tracked in your company, and you cut me in 15% as a finder's fee. He didn't hesitate. He looped in his general manager. When they realized it was a multi-month job for a 6-figure payout, they drew up a contract within hours. And I gave them the playbook. What the university liked. What themes they cared about. What the director wanted to hear in a pitch. What kind of videos performed best. In less than 48 hours, they magically appeared at the university, with a pitch so perfectly tailored, the director looked at them like they were heaven sent. They got the job. Now, remember, hiring a professional production house back then wasn't cheap. They weren't paying $2,200 a month anymore. They were shelling out double to triple that amount per video. The university needed 55 more videos. The production house delivered all of them in just 4 months, thanks to full-scale crews, producers, gaffers, editors, assistants, you name it. I sat back and collected my sweet 15%. That came out to 15 months of my salary, all in a neat, fat deposit. I used it to take my dream vacation to Bali and to enroll in a prestigious film school overseas. That was already the sweetest revenge I could have asked for. But karma wasn't done. One sunny afternoon, I was lounging on a beach chair, drink in hand, when my phone buzzed. It was my old colleague, the one who'd warned me about the manager. She couldn't stop laughing. You won't believe what happened. Turns out, the manager had approved the production deal without getting official sign-off from the director. Desperate to prove she could get the job done without me, she had poured the entire project budget, and then some, into that production house. Over 10 times what the university had budgeted. When the chancellor found out, the director was scolded publicly. The manager? Fired. On the spot. Their arrogance. Their lies. Their toxic power plays? It all collapsed. And I didn't even have to lift a finger. They thought I was just some burnt-out content guy with a nicotine habit. But I turned their entire budget into my personal payday. I got my friend a promotion, funded my education, and watched the people who tried to ruin me get exactly what they deserved. I didn't just survive their betrayal. I turned it into a legacy. Sometimes karma needs a little push. People in power often forget that treating others with respect is a two-way street. The same person they look down on today might just be the one who burns their entire empire tomorrow with a smile. If that revenge hit just right, smash that like button and let me know in the comments. What would you have done in my shoes?